What's going on, guys? It's Jay Camaro here with another episode of Initial Thoughts, and today we're going to be taking a look at Borderlands 2, which was released September 18th, 2012 for the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, and the PC, and was developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K Games. Now, Borderlands 2 kind of kicked off the gaming season for me. I had purchased Transformers Fall of Cybertron, but I got that in the summer and I had already beaten it by this time, and I actually didn't think I was going to get this game, but my friend decided to get it at the last second, and I heard that the multiplayer was really cool when you were playing it like with friends that you knew, so I decided to pick it up as well, and we've played it a lot. I definitely really enjoyed it. I've beaten the single player campaign, like the main storyline, and I've also completed probably about half of the side quests, so I definitely know I know quite a bit about it. I have not played the original Borderlands, so I won't really compare it to the original at all. I heard that that was pretty good, but if you want to learn more about that, just go to some like other review because I've never played it. I'm thinking about buying it, maybe doing like a Flashback Friday on it someday, but for right now, this is kind of the only Borderlands game I've played. So to start out with my initial thoughts, Borderlands 2, just to say, I had a lot of fun playing it. I thoroughly enjoyed my experience playing the entire main story and most of the side quests. I think that it was just really well done, and just if that's all you care about, if it's good, just go out and pick it up right now. But if you want to learn more about the different sections of the game, just stay tuned. So the first part of the game we're going to be talking about is the actual graphics, the visuals, and I don't usually do this in initial thought videos, go into much detail, but I think that the graphics in Borderlands 2 is very different. This right now, as you're seeing right now, is kind of like the startup video, and everything is very cartoonish. It doesn't look super realistic. Like it looks a little realistic, but it's everything's outlined in like a black line, and I really like how the game looks. The game is very colorful, even in like the desert areas like you're seeing right now, and I just think it looks really nice. I'm playing on the Xbox 360, so you'll definitely be getting a better experience on the PC, but I think for a pretty old console, I think that the team was able to do a great job on how it looked. The frame rate kind of stuttered a little bit when I was playing in large battles, but that wasn't really a big deal. It was only for a couple seconds, and that's barely even worth mentioning because it only happened like one or two times, so it's not going to take away from the entire experience. The character models were very well done. Just the entire game just looks beautiful. Sometimes I just stop to look at the environment and just take a look at how cool it is. All the characters are very different and separate themselves from each other, and I knew exactly what character was which as soon as I looked at them. Instead of like first-person shooters where you basically everybody's just like the same and stuff, you can really tell who's who. There's hundreds and hundreds of different characters that you shoot, so I think they definitely did a pretty good job with that. So the entire kind of premise of Borderlands 2 is an RPG with a focus on first-person shooter combat. So what that basically means is there's a lot of main story quests and side quests to do, but you're all completing them in first-person perspectives, unlike Skyrim, for example. You can also play in the third person. Think of it kind of like Call of Duty and Skyrim. They kind of put them together, and I just think that the result was very good. So when you first start up the game, you'll have the opportunity to choose one of four classes. You've got the Commando, the Siren, the Assassin, and the Gunzerker. The Commando, which you saw a second ago, is just your normal soldier. He can put down a turret. That's like his special ability. Every character has a special ability, and then he can. He's just really good with weapons, and he's kind of just your all-around normal soldier. The Siren, which you saw a second ago too, can pick up. It's kind of like a magical person kind of. Just with like you can like hover, like teleport to people, and with her special ability, she can like hold people up and then you can shoot them, which is pretty cool. The Gunzerker is pretty short, first of all, and he's basically really good with weapons. His special ability is pulling out two guns at the same time and just destroying everybody. He's a pretty cool character. And then finally, you've got the Assassin, which can go invisible, and it's just your kind of a stealth-like character. I played the game with the Commando, so that's but I've played it a little bit with the other characters as well. Also, there was a DLC that added the Mechromancer, which is this pretty cool girl who can it's kind of like mechanical. She can spawn a robot that can fight for her, and it's pretty cool. She was available through DLC a couple weeks after the game was released, and she was free to anyone who pre-ordered, and 800 Microsoft points for anyone who got the who didn't pre-order it. You can see her on the top right there. You can customize your character. It's pretty in-depth. You can customize their heads, which you can get more while completing like side quests or main story missions. Then you do it with your. You can get some skins. I'm using the collector's edition skins because I got the ultimate Vault Hunters edition. So I'm just naming my character and starting the game. Load times are pretty good for what you're getting. So when you first start out the game, you meet this really funny character called Claptrap, and he was in the first Borderlands, but of course I never played that, and I've heard quite a bit about him, and he's really funny, and I really like it. He talks in this pretty cool robotic-y tone, and he's just a hilarious character, and you don't spend a ton of time with him during the main storyline or any of the side quests, but the time that you do is definitely really cool. So the heads-up display, which he will give you in a second, is pretty cool. It comes with a mini-map, which is really nice for like navigating Pandora, which is the name of the world. And then you get like ammo, and you have a shield, and actually your shield goes down really fast, is what I noticed when I was playing the game. Like 2 or 3 shots and it was gone, and then your health is a little bit more. And once you go down, you go into kind of this like last stand state where if you kill someone or get revived, you get a second win and you can get back up. You restore some of your health, and then you get, of course, all of your shields back, which is pretty cool. When playing it with friends, it's definitely easier to survive. If you die, you just kind of spawn back at this spawn beacon type thing. It's kind of like a checkpoint system, and it costs quite a bit of money. It changes towards the amount of money that you have on your character. You can't like drop off money at any point like Skyrim. You're always holding it at the same time, and it really depletes your money really fast. I think it's probably like 5% of all your money, so it can definitely go away pretty fast if you're not careful. But of course, that's very different when you're playing with friends, because then they can revive you, and the enemies get stronger per the number of people in your game, and also based on your level. Now, your level improves every time you kill someone. It goes up to level 50, but it definitely takes quite a while to rank up. I've beaten the main storyline, like I said, and done about half the side quests, plus a little bit of the first DLC, which I'll talk about in a little while, and I'm only like level 32, so it's definitely to get all the way up to level 50, which is the highest level for right now. I believe they increased it with the original Borderlands, and they're probably going to increase it with this one too. It definitely takes quite a bit of dedication, but the reward is pretty good because you're just really powerful. Some of my other friends who got this game are already level 50, and they can just destroy everyone. So when you discover a new location, it kind of comes up with that kind of symbol. I just discovered Claptrap's place, and then you can use these fast travel beacons to get from area to area. The map is a little different than like Skyrim. It's basically set up into different sections. Now the sections are pretty wide ranges of land. And they can range from pretty small, like the environment that I'm in right now, to really big, like the dust, which is just miles of environment and stuff. And I think for the loading times, it's definitely really cool. Sometimes it was a little annoying after I finished a quest to have to go back to the one of the fast travel machines and just go back to like the main hub, which is Sanctuary, where you like accept most missions and stuff like that. But that's a pretty small complaint, because sometimes it kind of ties into the story. Right, what you saw right there is Claptrap getting his eye stolen, and that kind of starts out your first objective. Now you're gonna see in a second, you usually pick up like a pistol from this chest that I'm going over to, but I actually I get like some special weapons for pre-ordering it and getting the special edition. So I've just got some golden guns. They're not great, but for starting out the game, they're pretty useful. That's pretty much what I use in this gameplay. So, as you go about the storyline, you meet different characters, tons of different characters, and then you can accept certain quests from them, and then get money to buy new weapons and such. The main premise around Borderlands, besides completing quests and killing enemies, is the loot system. Now, almost anything that glows green, you press X, like I'm doing right now, and it opens up, and it can give you stuff from ammo to grenades to different perks for your person, and then you can get new weapons. Now, pretty much every weapon that I've gotten, you can buy them from retailers. Like this guy called Marcus's Munitions, I think, and you go up to these kind of like vending machines and can buy weapons and ammo, and then you can. Dr. Zed sells health-related stuff like shields and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're going to be picking up most of your weapons and health and ammo and such. And I think the weapons are really cool. They're kind of divided up into a couple different types of weapons. Pretty much your normal kind. You got like your SMG, your shotgun, your pistol, your assault rifle, your sniper rifle, and your rocket launcher. And I think for the most part, but most weapons feel like what they're supposed to, but there's just tons of weapons. I heard that there's like billions and billions of different weapon combinations that you can choose between, and I definitely think that's true. I've never seen the same weapon twice. I've never needed the same weapon twice, of course, and in other people's games, none of us really have the same weapon, so you can really craft your soldier with the weapons that you want. Each weapon, you can see that their stats like damage, reload time, stuff like that, like carrying capacity, ammo capacity, and besides that, they're split up into like different colors. Not the color that the weapon actually is, but when you're selecting it on the main menu, on your like in-game menu, it glows either. It has this like glow around it that's either white, blue, green, blue, purple, or orange. And white is the easiest to find, which is most ammo and shields and stuff like that. And then orange is like really hard to find legendary weapons, where I have a couple of those, and then I have a ton of purples. So they're definitely, if you put the time into the game, they definitely are pretty easy to find. But for somebody who just starts to play the game, you definitely really need to get into this. Playing this game for about a half hour doesn't really do it justice, because the quests are pretty long. They're actually pretty short, but they can get pretty long if you do a ton of them at different times. When you complete a quest, you have to turn it in, like go up to someone, and then there's like a green question mark above them, and then they like reward you with the money. And you don't always have to go back at the same time. You can wait pretty much indefinitely to finish the quest. So you can go to like different areas of the map and just do quite a few of them, which does definitely help with if you're a completionist like I am and just want to get every single objective done. Then you can that's a little bit easier to do. So you've basically got, so I'll talk about a little bit more of the levels, like ranking systems. Now, when you rank up, you get things called skill points. Now, those, of course, you get one every time you rank up, and they can be put towards one of three trees. Now, the trees are different judging on which character you have, and then you choose one like token. And you can choose more than one. You can just like save them up, and then just add them to different things. Like, for example, the commando, to unlock his turret, you have to use a skill token. He can have one kind of skill token where if his shields are all the way at the top, then his health will slowly regenerate, which really helped me out. And it's different for each character. Like for the Mechromancer, you can unlock her. You can change up her like robot type person and get more powerful. Right here, I'm versing an enemy, and every time you meet like a new character or enemy, it shows that little like animation, which some of the quotes like near the bottom was are pretty funny. Like the Knuckle Jogger one is this is gonna hurt, and sometimes they can just be really hilarious. Of course, he's pretty easy to kill because I've got my golden weapon. But he has a number above his head as well as a health bar. Now sometimes enemies, depending on what enemy you're fighting, has shields as well, and the enemies change based on your rank. So usually the number next to the red bar is pretty close to your rank. It gets a little confusing when you're playing with friends because you can actually have like one person who's level 50 or something be and I just leveled up right there, be a super soldier who's at level 50, everybody else is at level 5, and he can just destroy everyone. So sometimes it's easier, sometimes it gets a little annoying. But for people who want to beat the game really fast, just get one of your friends who are like a really high level and you could just destroy people immediately. We definitely did that a little bit, but not a ton. I mostly actually played this game alone because I'm usually not on when my friends are, and it definitely got a little weird playing it alone. I think the game is definitely made for a multiplayer type of it's definitely a multiplayer type of game where if you didn't have Xbox Live or PlayStation Network or whatever online service that they use on the PC, you can definitely still experience this game, but I just definitely think it's a lot better with with friends. There's a split screen mode on the same console. You can play with up to 2 people, so you and a friend. And the graphics are decreased a little bit, the frame rate goes down a little bit, but definitely it's a pretty good experience. And when my friends are over, we definitely had a lot of fun doing that. You can like import your character from their save, and we just had a lot of fun playing the game together. So kind of the combat and stuff is pretty good. So next we're going to go into the storyline. Now I'm not going to talk a ton about the storyline because of course I don't really want to spoil stuff, but the storyline is definitely very, very funny. This game is focused on humor, although you kill a lot of people and stuff like that. Oh, the writing is hilarious, what the characters sometimes say and do. Like, Claptrap just sometimes just breaks into dancing and orders you around like you're his minion, and it's just a really fun experience. I definitely was a little disappointed when disappointed when the game came to a close, because I couldn't really play the main storyline and meet more of those characters. Of course, you can do it in side quests, but the main type characters, I definitely think it's great, and whenever I beat a game and I want it to keep going, that definitely shows that it's quite a good game. I just pulled out I just got a new gun, and you actually get some guns as you move on. Like, you get the same guns, but then the loot system is different. So some quests you get like you can get like a certain weapon and a certain prize or perk to affect your guy, and that always stays the same, but then the loot system is always different. You definitely want to sell weapons quite a bit. That's kind of your main source of income, and you can't hold a lot of weapons at the same time. You can improve that with getting iridium, which is this like purplish substance that you can't actually like buy it. You have to find it, and then you trade that in this marketplace in the main like hub sanctuary for more ammo capacities or more capacities in your backpack or in this kind of vault that you get also in Sanctuary. I was a little disappointed that I couldn't get that many guns, but really it's the kind of game where you find one gun, you get rid of one gun, and until you find that perfect loadout that you just love, you usually just stay the same. I mean, you usually just switch up the guns quite a bit, so although I found a lot of cool guns, I had to get rid of quite a few. An important note to say is the reward guns type things actually just take up an extra slot. So for example, if you had 27 backpack slots, and you already had 27 of them filled up, and you got a new reward gun, that reward gun wouldn't just cancel out a different weapon, it would just stack up, but then of course you'd have to get rid of two more weapons before you could add anything to your inventory. But I think that was pretty good, but sometimes I kind of got carried away, because I just had like 10 or so extra slots. I had like 37 out of 27, so I couldn't really pick up any new weapons. So if you can trade them just spontaneously with like weapons on the ground, so you can definitely get a little carried away with the amount of weapons that you have. But selling them is pretty easy. There's like a buyback system where if you sell a gun and then you accidentally do it for the next like couple of minutes, you can go back and trade it for the same amount of money, which is pretty good. I actually did that once, and I was thankful that I could just buy it back. You can actually trade with other people in your game. You go up to each other and hold X at the same time, B at the same time, and then you can kind of just choose an amount of money that you want, or like special equipment or weapons and stuff, which I definitely kind of enjoyed. Me and my friends didn't trade up that often, but if like one person had like a ton of money and then you wanted to buy something, it was definitely pretty cool, where you can like give each other cash, not just weapons and stuff. So the trade system, I have to say, is pretty good. There's also like a fighting system, so if you go up to an enemy, someone on your game, like when you're playing multiplayer, you can actually duel them, which is pretty funny. You definitely want to verse somebody who's your level, because of course somebody who's level 50 will completely destroy a level 10 guy. But I think that's pretty cool how we can just fight against each other and stuff. Right here, you're going to meet a new character, and you're going to see another hilarious, pretty funny, like, cutscene. Not really cutscene, just like emblem where it shows them who they are and stuff like that. But there's quite a few characters that you meet across your journey. You had Captain Flint talk a little bit, and the main antagonist, for at least the main plotline, is Handsome Jack, who is part of the Hyperion Corporation and wants to mine all of the iridium, which you found in the original Borderlands, and you're just trying to stop him because the land of Pandora, which is where you're playing this game, is a pretty big wasteland, of course, hence the name Borderlands. There's a lot of enemies, and he kind of wants to just colonize it, build up some cities. Like one of his cities is Opportunity, which you can actually go to. There's always enemies around there, so I wouldn't stay there for a very long time. But he wants it to be very modern, and the people of Pandora don't want that to happen, and they also don't want him to open the vault and get the warrior, which the warrior is pretty much this gigantic monster who can destroy almost everything, and then you like lose the game. I'm not gonna spoil anything of the storyline. There's definitely quite a few plot twists that definitely had me shocked at sometimes, but I definitely really enjoyed it. All four of the characters from the original Borderlands actually return in Borderlands 2 in one way or another, and actually at the very end when you're going in to fight kind of like the final battle, they're all together, and it's pretty cool seeing all the characters from the original. I played the original a little bit, and I got to see like the character classes and stuff, and I definitely really like that. You can accept like certain quests from them, and there's also quite a few hints back to the original Borderlands. You could actually go to kind of the location where the original started up, and that's pretty cool. I definitely enjoyed that. But of course, I never played it. There's loyalty rewards for people who had played the original Borderlands, and I don't really know what those are because I never played the original Borderlands. But I think that it's pretty cool how they reward the people who played the game. The entire lifespan of the game really just depends on how much you want to play it. Probably it'll take a person who wants to get everything done probably about 50 hours in my opinion, judging on how many people you're playing with, if you're playing alone, what level you are, and stuff like that. But for the most part, this is going to be a game that if you want to completely complete everything, it's definitely going to take a little while. Right here is kind of like the turn-in type thing where you can talk to the person with the green question mark above their head and kind of get like a reward. So finally, let's talk about DLC that's released since this game came out, because it was released on the 18th of September, and right now, if I post this video the day I record it, it is the 27th of October. So there actually has been a DLC released, and that is Captain Scarlet and Her Pirate Booty. Now, this DLC takes you to another location, Oasis, where you can do some more quests and stuff. I got the season pass, so I'll get all four DLCs. And from what I've played of it, it's pretty good. It's $10 for somebody who doesn't get the season pass. And I definitely, if you like Borderlands, I would recommend it. I haven't completely beaten it, like I've beaten the main storyline of the game, but I think that it was pretty good. So that kind of brings me to the end of my initial thoughts. Borderlands 2 is definitely a ton of fun, and it's a game I would highly recommend. So finally, we're just going to be going into the final segment where we're talking about should you buy it. Now, somebody who would definitely want to buy this is somebody who loves either first-person shooters or role-playing games. I think that it's just a ton of fun, completing all the quests and stuff. But you have to kind of look, do you have Xbox Live or do you not have Xbox Live? And somebody who doesn't have Xbox Live, I wouldn't recommend it to them as much. I think it's still a great game, but you definitely haven't experienced the full Borderlands 2 until you've played it with friends. So if you have an Xbox and you get this game, I would get Xbox Live, because it's just a ton of fun playing with friends. You can have the split screen mode, which is pretty good, but the 4-player multiplayer mode is a ton of fun, and I just enjoy just playing with my friends late night, and I'm definitely going to keep playing this game through 2012 and beyond. So if you guys enjoyed this video, thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.